3, 2, 1. Welcome back, people. We're right back into the next part. As you can see, we only left off right after the bitch died. There she is. And by the bitch, I mean the Farsi. Hey, look at that guy. He just died. As you can see, the blood and gore left by persistent bodies is always lovely. And what we're going to actually seek to do here is we need to... As you can see, the tomb spiders kind of got laid out once again. That's kind of why I don't like tomb spiders. They can't really stand up on their own. They're good for reinforcing your army consistently, but otherwise you really shouldn't build them. Because like right now I'm trying to have a standing army that can actually just roam around and fight. But they are good for having a renewable army, I supposedly would say. Now, did I actually lose some builder scarabs? No, I didn't. Looks like some units got stuck, and why they're stuck is because... There we go. Just had to move a few units, they get stuck on each other a little bit, but it's not like detriment to the game, really. Just a simple movement here and there, and they're all right as rain. Now, what we need to do is actually move up... fuck it, these guys aren't doing anything. We need to move up a scarab unit. Now that's the whole thing, that's another thing. Like, as you can see, I need to move one of my most vulnerable units, the builder scarab, up to actually take this point. Did I lose a... No, I'm not losing a heavy destroyer. I thought I did. As you can see, there's a lot of green lights and a lot of pew-pew going on. Pretty much standard fare for the Necrons. I have 3 destroyers and 1 heavy destroyer. It's not too bad. Oh no, they have... See, this is what people don't like about Infiltrated. It's like, oh, I can't actually kill this because I can't see it. But I have this solar pulse, which allows me to see everything. Oh, actually, we're gonna kill the webway gate, which actually allows... Now, that is actually what's causing the infiltration. The webway gate has an upgrade that allows it to have a cloak, which allows the Eldar to cloak nearly everything they own for buildings-wise, which allows them to do stuff like this, which they could be hiding this right under your nose. You wouldn't be able to know what's going on, and it looks like as we killed that Archon portal, a Farseer just completed. That's what actually happened. It wasn't that she just teleported out of it, or that she was actually being held within. It was just her completing her construction or build time. Looks like the Bone Singers are trying to rebuild on this relic. The AI has a habit of doing that, trying to build on the relic before it can. It looks like it actually was trying to build the support portal, which the support portal is the vehicle constructing portal for the Eldar. I swear, I wish I could teach you this stuff in like another video, like when I actually play Eldar, but I feel that you wouldn't really get it unless you played the game, unless I explain it right here and now. Now, a lot of times when actually vehicles die near melee units attacking a vehicle, it will often knock them over, except for if the unit is immune to knockdown, which I believe not a lot of units in Dawn of War 1 are. Dawn of War 2 actually had quite a few units that were immune to knockdown, if I recall, or at least immune to most forms of knockdown. That's what it usually said in the unit text, more immune to most forms of knockdown. If you guys ever want me to do a couple videos on Dawn of War 2, let me know. I actually might well, I'm not going to say I might consider it. I'll probably do it. I'll probably just straight up do it. Because Dawn of War 2, I honestly do hate Dawn of War 2. People like it better because I think it's oversimplified. They like the squad, they like far more focus to squads and more to the lore of the game, more like tabletop, where it has a lot more random chants and shit. I hate random chants in games. As you may have learned from my Total War Warhammer videos, anytime a Vortex spell doesn't go the right way it should, if it goes completely towards your own units and just massacres them, it's just piss poor and ruins the fun of a consistent damage that you could have. And frankly, it makes your victory a lot more random. it makes it a lot less skillful in my mind. And I don't know if Kelton cares, but I care about skill being part of the victory above all. Where the hell is that unit going? Anyways, I believe we have some units building here. These will pop up. These will pop out as soon as our pop is not full anymore. You can also pre-build the meter, as you can see there. But let's get this party started, shall we? We're going to restore the monolith to its former glory. As you can see, we've been slowly hoisting the son of a bitch out of the ground and powering up its systems, allowing us to build more and more units. But what you haven't seen is the Grandmaster Daddy of the Necron monolith become its former glory as a destroyer and eradicator of life, to make this world a tomb world once more. We have prepared many weapons, one being the ancient monoliths buried beneath the ground. The restored monolith has a teleport ability that allows it to teleport a short distance, and like all Necron units, except for skimmers and, say, the Wraiths, it is incredibly slow. Now, as you can see, it has 0 melee damage, because how the hell is that thing going to hit you? And range damage is 120 to 160. That is, I believe, the standard guns on the sides here. They are effective against infantry, heavy infantry, and vehicles. Now, as you can see, it has the guns, 4 guns here, that can fire out on all angles. It will turn to face its target. This is what propels it. Whenever it wants to move, it has to rotate to this little propulsor here. And, as you can see, if I wanted to turn left, it has to turn left, and then it can move that direction. But if I want it to move forward, it has to turn that and move forward. That is one of the weaknesses of this vehicle, is that it has, despite its, objectual nature and its floating sort of form, it has only 1 jet. Meanwhile, it's very strange as a relic unit, because it's essentially your HQ taking off, and if this gets destroyed, it will teleport back to this point as a Necron monolith like this, but it will be severely damaged, as it takes getting down to about a quarter of its health to actually go restore itself and teleport itself back to here. But if you have multiple monoliths like going like this, you could actually immediately restore this monolith, as it costs 1,000 power, as you can see, to make that. But you could easily have this one go down and then immediately build this one. But the build time would take a lot longer if I didn't have 91% time bonus. As you can see, it accelerates all Necron construction. Training and research times increase your time bonus by using builder scarabs to capture strategic points and relics, then to build obelisks on top of them. Now, for most races, when you capture a relic, you can actually immediately start building your relic unit, but I believe for Necrons, you have to actually capture the relic unit point and then build an obelisk on top of it for it to actually count as a captured relic. Just like in order to get the time bonus, I have to build the obelisk on top of it, as it doesn't count as a captured point. For other races, it counts as a captured point as soon as... Oh, this is actually quite the effective unit to take on the monolith with. This is actually a strategy that was often used by Eldar players to take out my monoliths, was to engage it with a mass amount of Wraith Lords with Bright Lances. Now, the Bright Lances are the things mounted on their shoulders. Now, that is an upgradable sort of device. That is an upgradable sort of... like the attachment on my... Like the upgrade on my Scarab. That is... They can either keep the star cannon like they had, where we saw earlier they were going... When they would engage my forces, they would go pew 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 pew. Well, now they have that massive pew pew, which is that spear, essentially, that recovers, that does a lot of vehicle damage, but it has a long reload time. So what we will do is we will take our Necron Lord, our Monolith, and all these units. And this is also something. The Necrons are usually on the defense for a lot of the game because they are trying to build up their time bonus and move across the map. Now, I actually don't know where his main base is, but from what I can tell, this actually might be his main base because he constantly keeps sending units to build here. So what I'm going to do, one, upgrade this to tier 3 so that secures it, but I'm going to use skimmer units to kind of scout around. And I'm going to see if I can locate his main base. As you can see, this is the anti-infantry destroyer, not the heavy destroyer. And these units don't do very well against this vehicle. Or this building. Now, their melee attack, however, does far greater. As you can see, suddenly it loses a huge chunk of health because it's being meleeed by the Tomb Spider. And also, Kelton, it is the Tomb Spider and the Builder Scarab. These are anti-vehicles, so they're going to make short work of this Wraith Lord, but they do take a lot of damage because that thing is anti-building. Let's see here. Hopefully I can locate his base. It looks like he's in the upper right. From where the units are coming from. Now this is, like I was saying, where the Necrons are usually on the defense. This is what I'm talking about in the sense that I can move out from this base and I won't lose the game because a lot of times the Necrons will lose the game because they are being attacked because their HQ gets destroyed. Like, aka the Necron Monolith is their building that counts. If, say, like you have to kill, in order to kill them fully, you would have to destroy the Necron Monolith, the Summoning Core, the Greater Summoning Core, the Forbidden Archive, and I believe the generators don't count as a unit, as a essential structure, because you have to destroy all troop building structures. Now, if I can just get him teleported in here, so he can reveal. As you can see, there's the webway gate that is hiding that. Now, the Eldar, however, actually increase their squad cap by building those webway gates. And people know the infamous game of Hunt the Webway Gate that you have to play when you do Annihilation Victory towards Eldar. Because the Eldar, as you can hear, that's the sound of a webway gate. That twang, twang, that's the sound of a webway gate that is currently in action. Now, we don't actually have any stealth detection, and that is my fault. We only have the solar pulse. As you can see, that unit just popped out of nowhere. But here's the thing, it didn't pop out of nowhere. It popped out of a support portal that's hidden by the Eldar. But we'll take care of that momentarily. Our entire army is invisible, so it can't really be harmed by this listening post that would currently be shooting at us if it could. But it can't see us. But back to Dawn of War 2 infiltration. Dawn of War 2 infiltration works like if you're hiding in a bush. So the way it works is you could run a unit up to a unit that has infiltration. You could run a unit up to, like, for instance, you see these videos that these units that are invisible right now. Instead of having to have a unit detect them, or having to have a unit detect these buildings, like right now, I have to have a thing to detect these buildings, and then I have to kill the source of detection. I have to kill the source that's cloaking them. Then only can I kill them. That's how it works. But for this, however, for Dawn of War 2, however, I wouldn't have to do that. I would simply have to know where the structure is or stumble upon it, and I would be able to instantly reveal that. I would be able to reveal that target by, you know how? By bumping into it. By simply bumping a melee unit, a unit of any type, into it, I would be able to reveal that Now it would be able to reveal that structure or that unit that was invisible. And the way infiltration worked in Dawn of War 2 is every time a unit would fire, it would partially reveal itself, which would basically show you the unit for a moment of time. As you can see, I can't kill that unit, and the Necron monolith is slowly progressing itself towards whatever the hell. This doesn't seem to be the main base, but we're going to finish it off anyways. I'm going to go ahead and assign this to a separate hotkey. It's still assigned to 1, so I'm just going to go ahead and re-hotkey this. This will be 1. This will be only 2. There we go. As you can see, yeah, that's what I wanted to explain to you. It also has a big, massive blast that does AoE knockdown and massive amounts of damage to all types. At the point at which it hits. Now, as you can see, I'm being hit here, and I can't do anything about it. Reveal. There's quite a bit here. It looks like this actually was where he was preparing most of his troops from, because these are all aspect portals which prepare most of the infantry choices of Eldar. Now, this game does encourage you building multiple production structures, as you will be able to get forces out quicker. And build an army. And reinforce your army anyways, at a consistent rate. Now, what I can tell here is that I'm losing some ground without knowing it. Yep, I lost. 1 second. It seems like I've lost some obelisks because, see, I'm building a lot slower. As you can see, I'm building a lot slower, and my units aren't coming out as fast if I was building any. And also, we have a reduction in squad cap. We're still able to maintain the units that we have over that squad cap, but in order to restore that squad cap, we're gonna need to, like, if we lose these units right now, I'm not gonna be able to build them again until I renew that squad cap. But we need to, however, take care of the other webway gate over here that was actually cloaking the rest of the units. Hopefully we can get it in time. Hopefully we can destroy it in time. Yes, we got it. Okay, good. Now we can destroy the rest of the portals with impunity. Jesus. And as you can see, that is why it's effective to use Wraith Lords against the monolith. It's because it really can't deal with that kind of unit up in its face, and it's not very good against vehicles. It's mainly good against disrupting infantry. It does, however, do very well against heavy infantry, which a lot of late game units for other races is heavy infantry. Now what I'm going to do is I actually made a little bit of a flaw here, in the sense that I am not, one, recovering the corpses of my fallen brethren. I'm going to go ahead and put him on. Now you may be wondering what I'm doing. That's range stance, that's melee stance. This is stand ground stance. This is, well, he will stop and shoot at anything that he can, but he will not move from the point he's in. He will burn stance, it's attack structure. He will favor structures over units. Ceasefire, he will not attack anything, regardless of, unless it attacks him in melee. He will not attack it. Attack stance, he will attack anything and pursue things to the ends of the earth. Stand ground, hold ground stance, he will attack anything that engages him, and he will try to maintain the relative location at which he is at. But he will attack and pursue. But attack stance, he will go out of his way and just pursue everything and attack everything. And it will chase them to the ends of the earth, as I like to call it. The ends of the earth. There we go. But what we're going to do now is I made a bit of a tactical error by not securing the listening post next to me. In the sense that it would be far easier to hold those points than trying to make a war campaign across the rest of the map here and trying to maintain myself against these Eldar, which are constantly building new bases around where I've destroyed them, which is where I need to... You wouldn't normally have to do this against races, but against the Eldar in particular, at least the AI Eldar, and I would hope the Eldar in multiplayer, you had as you can see, the Builder Scarabs. Actually, yeah, I need to take Builder Scarabs along with me to detect all these units, because the only other detecting unit I have is the Wraith, which is a heavy infantry, very fast-moving unit, but it's a melee unit, so it constantly wants to get into the thick of it. It's very fragile, but it can be phased out of reality, and it basically will be shot at and take no damage, but it can't attack during that time. But as a single unit that is very fast and can melee, it can be used to tie up ranged squads very effectively. But I'm going to go ahead and have them repair the restored monolith. Now, what you may not know is that they can repair any unit in the Necron army, because the Necron army is all mechanized robots. However, other builder units cannot heal up their respective units, or friendly units. I'm going to go ahead and send this guy over. Yes, unless they're vehicles, of course. But I'm going to go ahead and have my Tomb Spider. My Builder Scarabs will repair this monolith over here. My Tomb Spider, however, will head over here and gather the corpses from this lost battle. Because if we remember early on, we lost a lot of forces there. As you can see, now the Necron Lord is far more effective against this ranged fire, because he has the phylactery, which surrounds the Necron Lord, and with thousands of tiny scarabs. These tiny scarabs greatly reduce the amount of range damage the Necron Lord takes. These tiny scarabs repair the Necron Lord's body, slowly. So that gives him a bit of regenning health. Fun fact, look at all of the Necron units, all the Necron units and Necron vehicles have slowly regenerating health, because they are made of what is known as living metal. Which I'm surprised Games Workshop didn't get sued for that with the whole living metal Terminator 2 thing. But I suppose you can't...
Yeah, but it's not liquid, so it's far enough away.
It used to be liquid. You don't know.
Instead of just being a direct quote.
It used to be... But a direct quote could be anything. I could say a direct quote from Air Bud is the...
Yeah, that's a direct quote.
Direct quote.
Get sued over saying the.
Original character, do not steal.
Original sentence, do not steal.
Oh, that's where my other Tomb Spider is. Yeah, but anyways, when he harvests bodies, he can redeploy, he can spawn a basic squad, a base squad of a number of units. The Flayed ones, the Necron Warriors, or Immortals. As you can see, to spawn a basic squad of Necron Warriors requires 4 bodies. Flayed ones, 5 bodies, and Immortals, 6 bodies. And at any point, I can deploy those instantaneously. Even if it breaks the squad cap, however. That's another thing that Necrons can do that actually was kind of meant to happen. Necrons are able to go over their squad cap a little bit. It used to be a little bit too ridiculous, where they could go like 30 over their squad cap. Well, not 30, they could go about 10, maybe 14 over their squad cap, but they changed it to where only they can only go, say, 4 over their squad cap. Now, what you're seeing here is that the scarabs are detecting that, so we were able to destroy it. Now, what I'm going to do is what you're actually seeing here. Now, if you see, I select these. Oh man, I can't select these builder scarabs. Why can't I select these builder scarabs? You can select builders individually, but in order to, and together, like with other builders, but in order to make it simpler for the person having builders, you can only select military units when you drag select. At least when you're selecting military units. That way that you don't accidentally send your workers into the fray. But if I wanted to select military units with worker units, I could select the military unit and then hold control and box select them like this. Or to box select on select, select, unselect, select, see, like that. Or I could control click and just add them to unit selection. It's simple as that. Some people think that's really janky. It's actually very convenient once you get used to it. Now we've actually managed to secure territory over here, so what we're going to do is build an obelisk. And we're going to capture this over here and build an obelisk. We're trying to deny, essentially, the Eldar any way to escape us, which is the Eldar name of the game, practically. It's the name of the game. That's right. Oh, shit. Looks like the Eldar are actually mobilizing to make a more significant strike. The War Spiders are better against infantry and heavy infantry, but they have a haywire grenade that can cause significant damage to vehicles. However, it looks like I caught the Eldar in transit more so than I did catch them mobilizing. Well, I guess I did catch them mobilizing because they were mobilizing somewhere else. But they unlike other races, the Eldar, unlike other races, the Necrons can only capture with their builders. The War Spiders were probably moving to, say, capture this point, or capture this point, or capture any point. As you can see, through the fog of war, I can hear that noise of the webway gate being there. Which, I don't know whether that's like, basically meant to happen, or that's a flaw of the game. But regardless, it's there. It's there, it's queer, you're gonna have to deal with it, which really none of us should have to, honestly. I don't have any problem with gay people, I just have a problem with the flamboyant and in-your-face nature. Because everyone should be able to be who they want to be, but no one should be able to be an asshole.
As I would describe it, the Tumblr gay. Their whole identity is that they are gay.
Yeah, if you're a person, that's fine. If your whole identity is that you're gay, and you have nothing else to you than that, I think you should, frankly, get out of here.
If you're a person and gay, that's fine. If you're just gay, get out of here.
Like, if your whole identity is being Russian, get out of here. If you're Russian, that's great. Cool, you're proud to be Russian? Fucking fine, I don't really care. Oh, I'm sorry, I don't really care that you're Russian? Sorry, that's just me, I don't care. Now, am I being an asshole? No, I'm just saying, I'm not caring about just anyone is not being an asshole, that's just being reasonable. Because to say that you care about every living being on this earth that is human is a lie. Because in your deepest heart of hearts, you can say that you care about everybody in this world, but you don't. You have selfish desires just like the rest of us, and at the drop of a hat, you wouldn't kill yourself for that person. You wouldn't sacrifice your life for theirs. You would more see yourself as more important. I'm amassing quite the power reserves here. But then again, when your entire, sake for being is being a giant factory, that kind of will happen. Now, when you actually destroy generators, they explode and do damage and knock units away. So you want to be careful when destroying generators, honestly. Now, when a Tomb Spider dies, it actually just dies where it is and leaves a corpse. Now, when you summon a new Tomb Spider, you don't actually summon a new Tomb Spider. You resurrect a Tomb Spider where it is. This can be good and bad, because if your enemy surrounds and secures a base around that Tomb Spider and has units constantly to kill that spider, it may lead you to resurrecting one of the Tomb Spiders that was surrounded, and that will be instantly killed. If you, however, go ahead and use a... Oh shit, I actually didn't kill that. Oh god, I'm gonna have to split up my units. I might have to not move in a huge ball. You guys will be one. You guys will be one over here. I don't know where the hell my... Okay, he's over there for some reason. Okay, so 3, squad 3, move out. Or actually, no. You guys are squad 3. Squad 3, move out. You guys... You're gonna be number 4. You're gonna 2. But you're gonna be 2 with a bit of little you. Like, you guys are gonna be 2. And that's also something I like about this game is your squads can actually be multiple numbers. So if you wanted to specifically select one unit in a battle, but you also wanted them to be part of your whole army hotkey, you can have that. Well, some games seem to think you don't like to have, you know, that functionality. It does mean that you do have to remove the other units from your hotkey, from your previous hotkey, if you wanted them to just be one hotkey. But that's the kind of the sake of it. Like, that's kind of what you sacrifice when you're doing that. So yeah, I guess there's arguments for both ways, but I prefer my way. So get the fuck out. I'm actually gonna stop these guys building generators over here, and I'm gonna join them with squad Ramrod. But I hit Shift 1 and it instantly united them with 1 and Control 1 to add them to squad 1. This is squad 1. This is squad 2. I like this squad. It's got a good group of faces. A very likable squad. They're also very good at dealing with Wraith Lords. As you see this Wraith Lord just get taken care of. This one's very good at dealing with everything. As you can see. And yes, I know you guys probably must love or hate that big ass mushroom cloud that fucking monolith puts out when it does the big crystalline blast. Anyways, that's 32 minutes. I'm gonna pause right here on the note of 1 second. And they're dead. Anyways, I'll see you guys in the next video. I'm actually really enjoying covering this game with you and sharing it with you. Leave a comment. Like the video if you like the video. There's the dislike button over there if you dislike the video. But I'm going to warn you, if you dislike the video, Necrons will come to your house and beat you to death. Just saying. Not me. I'm not going to do that. No threats. But Necrons. Necrons will. They have the ability to go through time and shit. They have the ability to warp without actually having a warp drive. I don't know what you're going to do, but when they show up, it's going to be scary, and I don't want that to happen to you. But this has been Reaper Guy 36, signing off, and that's not my problem.